Framing theory is about how media influence the way we think about certain things. Before we start, I would like to use an example to show the basic idea of framing theory.
Customers already have over 700 million Lightning headphones. And there are also over 2 billion Apple Power adapters out in the world. So we are removing these items from the iPhone box, which reduces carbon emissions and avoids the mining and use of precious materials.
Now, every iPhone will include the more advanced and higher power USB-C to Lightning cable.
Hey, what is up internet? Welcome back to the channel and I usually don't make such videos but ये एक topic है जो मुझे काफी time से परेशान कर रहा है, so I finally decided I'll make a video on it. So Apple unveiled their new iPhone lineup, the iPhone 12 earlier this month, and it comes with all the bells and whistles as always. But जो rumors आ रही थी, it is true. The new iPhone 12 will not have the charging brick inside the box. So no earpods, no charging brick, just the iPhone and the USB Type-C to Lightning cable. And लोगों ने बहुत तरीकों से इंटरनेट पे इसके ऊपर रिएक्ट किया था. But why did Apple do this? Apple ने ऐसा क्यों किया? Well, it's mostly because they want to contribute to the environment. Now, removing these things from the box would make sense according to them because we already have a lot of chargers and we already have a lot of earpods lying around in the house. So removing these items from the box will help them reduce carbon emissions. And also removing these items from the box will help them reduce the packaging of the iPhone so they can fit in more iPhones in that same truck or the same shipping pallet. So basically, Apple wants to become 100% carbon neutral by 2030, and this is one of the only steps in the beginning that they want to do to achieve that. So this does sound like a really good move, right? Because everyone wants to contribute to the environment. In fact, Stephen Hank, the CEO of Anchor, actually recently sat with The Verge on a podcast and claimed that we have just over 3 lakh tons of e-waste just from these chargers that come with the box of phones or other laptops or other gadgets lying around in the house. So it's a massive deal when it comes to environment because 3 lakh tons of e-waste is, I think, a big concern, I would say. So on the onset, it feels that this move by Apple would make sense in 2020 because we all want that one of the biggest tech giants in the world, if they can contribute to the environment, everyone would also follow. But some of the decisions from Apple actually don't give you that impression.
This video, Apple removed the battery chargers in iPhone 12 box. They use an excuse as protect the environment to cancel the battery chargers. Lisa Jackson, Apple's VP of Environment Policy and the Social Initiative, said, "We know that customers have been accumulating USB power adapters and that producing millions of unneeded adapters customers' resource and add to our carbon footprint." However, many customers realize that their original chargers cannot use the new USB cable because the new cable became the Type-C cable. Many customers hate this changing policy. Many customers share their opinions about the missing charger. Here's a comment from YouTube. "I was so confused when my mom got her new iPhone and there wasn't a charging box adapter. Especially because the new iPhone chargers have been a different charging box, so we couldn't use our old chargers heads. So we have to order a new one, a hot mess. Charging it from the back takes forever." The reason why I think it is a good example is that Apple framed their words of removing the battery chargers and they want to protect the environment. However, they did not tell the customers they had changed the cable become Type-C, and so the customers have to buy new battery chargers in the future. Back to the concept of framing theory. Human beings are cognitive misers and they like to use as few resources as possible, that people prefer simple rather than complicated frames and explanations of a situation. There are two important concepts in the framing theory: frames in communication and the frames in thinking. To understand the different content in the frames in communication, people have to understand the central organizing idea within a message. Here are 4 steps. Selection. People should know what topic is covered and not covered. In physics, what importance of issues is covered. Exclusion. What information is included or excluded. And elaboration. Interpretations of the issues. Here is an example. In 2016, Xiaomi, a Chinese technology company, published their new laptop. During the news conference, they showed these 2 pictures and showed the new laptop's performance. In the pictures, they mentioned that it is thinner than a coin and it is thinner than the most thickness part in the MacBook Air. If people only focus the words, the customers may be surprised that Xiaomi did a great laptop. This means Xiaomi tried to use these words to frame customers' thinking and want the customers to believe their laptop were thin. However, they only mentioned their laptop is thinner than a coin and the MacBook Air, but they did not mention this coin is standing, and they are comparing the most thickness part of the MacBook Air. For the frames in thinking, it is the way that framing theory tries to think about how people are affected by what they are watching or reading in the media.
Face coverings are supposed to slow the spread of COVID-19, but tonight there's a new conspiracy about masks being used to control you with radio waves. CBS 17 consumer investigator Steve Spracia shows us why that's just a misguided myth.
The fallacy about this type of mask exploded on social media based on no science whatsoever. Here's the myth.
Disposable face masks contain a 5G antenna used to track and control you with radio waves that will eventually infect your brain with cancer. It's all over the internet. People spreading frantic warnings about masks and 5G, telling folks don't wear them and throw them out. Well, here's where that myth comes from. This viral video where a woman cuts open a face mask.
So this is how they plan on killing us. They putting the 5G wire inside these masks. Right here, where I just cut it out.
So what is this wire actually made of? Well, I took apart a mask, and it turns out it's a piece of plastic with a steel wire encased in it. See how this magnet attracts it? It's just steel. It's almost identical to these twist ties, which come with plastic bags. See, nothing more than a piece of steel wire inside of plastic. The magnet, it sticks to it.
This patent shows the design of these masks goes back to the 1970s, long before smartphones with 1G, 3G, or any kind of wireless downloading system ever existed. And the flexible wire is designed right into the mask. The 5G mask antenna myth is a twist on a story that I debunked back in April, where claims were made that 5G was causing the COVID-19 virus and spreading it electronically. COVID-19 is caused by a virus, and electromagnetic waves don't create biological viruses.
So not only does this mask not contain the 5G wire, you can't use it to download anything or even make a phone call. All it's good for is protecting you and others from the spread of COVID-19. Working for you, I'm consumer investigator Steve Spracia.
Based on this video, people only noticed there was a metal wire that in the mask and believed this metal would connect to 5G and it will control human beings. Back to 2019, the 5G technology started to release in the public. Many companies such as Verizon began to use 5G in their mobile service. They told customers that 5G has better performance and use less wires to transmit the message than 4G. And so the customers will have a schema that 5G can only use a single wire to send message or control the goods. In the African American woman's video, she cut the mask, showed the metal wires, and announced it is the 5G wires. She only focused on the metal wires in the mask and did not use any resource to prove these wires are 5G. The audience will easily remember these scammers and cause they will refuse to wear the mask in the future. based on the films in thinking people only focus on there is a mental wear in the mask and that some of them did not want to wear the mask during the COVID-19. They found an excuse that they do not want to wear the mask, and this video's content is relevant to them. Moreover, they did not want to search any research to prove the accuracy of the video. Then, many people will believe the video is real and that there is a 5G wear in the mask.